My buddy told this whole college volleyball team that our friend had herpes. My neighbor was a year older than us growing up, me and my buddies from high school. Anytime I went and hung out with my buddies up at, their places, or my buddies would come down here, we hang out, my neighbor would hang out with us. He got to know my buddies from high school really well. And I grew up with my neighbor for the last, 10, 12 years. We've always been pretty tight. He was a year older than us, and when he went to college, he got a full ride scholarship for golf to Morehead State, joined a frat, and anytime he came home over the summer, he was never shy to tell us all of his hookup stories. He was the polar, always telling us about all the girls that he slept with and stuff like that. 2 or 3 years go by, it's our usual summer hangout. My neighbor's telling us all of his hookup stories or whatever. Because, and good for him, right? Like, he had it going on. He was a frat kid down at Morehead, and on the golf team, he did his thing. As he's talking about Morehead State, the school he's at, my buddy says, "Oh, my sister's going to be playing volleyball there." My neighbor goes, "Oh, really? I'm good friends with a lot of the girls on the volleyball team. I'll be excited to see your sister." I personally didn't think anything of it, but every time we would hang out for the rest of that year, Christmas break, whatever, that would come up, how my neighbor was going to sleep with my buddy's sister. And again, just a running joke. Like, I don't think anyone thought of it as a serious thing. Well, school starts that year, and I think we would have been juniors. My neighbor would have been a senior, and my buddy's sister would have been a freshman. So it's a few months into the school year. I get a text out of the blue. "Tom, what the fuck, bro?" And I'm like, what do you mean? He's cussing, my neighbor's texting me, cussing me out. "What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do something like that? You're such a motherfucker." I'm like, whoa. What are you talking about? My buddy, to protect his sister, instead of just warning his sister that my neighbor's down there and he's a bit of a manho, my buddy tells his sister that my neighbor has herpes. My buddy's sister goes down for her first week of volleyball practice. The girls who know my neighbor and hang out with him hear this story from her about my neighbor. So then this whole rumor that he has herpes spreads like wildfire, not only through the girls' volleyball team, but through all of the sports teams, into the fraternities and sorority Greek life. Like, this lie just blows up on my neighbor. So everybody thinks that my neighbor has herpes. So it ruins his whole, the polar vibe. And then he had to spend months cleaning up this rumor that he didn't have herpes. I kind of saw both sides of it, right? When I'm getting these text messages, and then my buddy tells us, "Yeah, I told my sister he has herpes." So I can see from my neighbor's standpoint, like, dude, what the fuck? Just tell your sister not to hook up with me, right? But on my buddy's side, I'm like, I could understand if he's worried about, his sister, hooking up with you. I get that. So it was one of those things. You could decide who's on the right or wrong, but it was so funny because to this day, my neighbor says if he ever sees my buddy again, he's beating his ass. Like, he has not let it go, even though he's past that phase of his life and he's got a girlfriend for like a long-term girlfriend and stuff. But it was just one of the funniest stories that I was just, glad to be caught in the middle of, because it's almost unbelievable that a lie like that to protect your sister would turn into my neighbor having to explain to damn near the whole campus at Morehead State that it was a lie. So, and, it's been 5 or 6 years now since that happened, but one of the funniest stories that I've ever experienced. And the fact that it had such an effect on the whole campus, man, just freaking hilarious. I understand you not wanting to hook up with somebody's sister, but maybe don't tell your sister that your friend has herpes. That just doesn't seem very, very bro-like, but, neither is banging somebody's sister, so whatever. Talks with Tom.
I was riding around town thinking to myself, is it gonna get easier? I'll be up and away up the street and big, but I can't even breathe no more. What's it to me? What can I see? Taking shots by the lake till I can't